But yes.
You're recognized.
Thank you. I just want to emphasize what my colleague from Puerto Rico said. It would be one thing if it were just numbers. Then, if it were just numbers, we'd be talking about transparency to the American people, and realistically, it would have no impact on whether or not our homeland is safe, because we're not asking the department to gather more information on people. We're not asking them to do anything differently than what they're already doing to keep our homeland safe. This, of course, is not numbers, and the problem not just numbers, the problem is when you're adding in public reporting, there is a benefit to transparency for the American people. I fully agree with that, but there's also a tremendous benefit to the organized gangs who are trying to infiltrate our country. And I appreciate the lesson that Ms. Green was trying to pass on to me, but as somebody who prosecuted organized criminal enterprises for 10 years, I can tell you that this kind of information only helps the enemy. It does not stop them. And it's bad enough that you're misrepresenting what your bill says, but it's even worse than the fact that the information that's being provided will help the enemy and will do nothing to help keep our homeland secure. So I wish that, A, we had an accurate representation from the sponsor of this bill as to what it is, and B, that if it were actually that, we'd be having a very different discussion. And I yield back.
Gentleman yields. Mr. Luttrell, you're recognized.
I do, and I feel like this has come completely off the rails. Dan, I'm going to chat with you. I disagree. I think if countries are well aware and under the microscope and they know that we see them, that puts them in a different posture. Now, my colleague stated it was numbers. I don't understand. If she would have stated numbers in countries of origin, and DHS is the one that's doing the processing, as they have done currently and in the past, this just codifies legislation that says this is something that Congress wants. And it's not Congress, it's not Morgan that's down there pointing people out, saying, hey, look, you're obviously an SIA. It's us assisting DHS in amplifying our ability to defend ourselves. So I guess my question is the problem with, should it be just numbers, or why is it a problem with its numbers, countries of origin, where we're letting the American people like, hey, we are very well aware of the problem set. We are laser focused in on these areas. And I personally think that's a good thing. I yield.
Yeah, well,
Gentleman yield.
I think first of all, I think we have to distinguish between foreign governments and foreign terrorist organizations,
okay,
who are often different.
Will you yield? Okay, I forced
your time.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I forced you. Okay,
Okay,
forgive my speech if I don't say, I mean the terrorist organizations that we are focused on, not specific governments and so on, or if that's included.
Right. Well,
and I know you're going to go granular on me here.
I'm not going to go granular, because I think that you have to recognize a foreign terrorist organization is a professional criminal organization. They assume that they are under surveillance. They assume that they are being investigated, that they are being targeted. So by releasing the information that there is actual targeting of them does not give them any information that they don't already know. You're not gonna be able to say, oh, wow, they're looking at us now, we better be more careful. But what they are gonna get is...
That's exactly what will happen.
But they already know that. And what they will then learn is not anything that not any surprise that they're being investigated. They will actually learn how we are investigating and targeting them, which allows for them to...
I disagree. They will just know through the publication.
So
I'm sorry.
what we don't want to do is that you just reclaim your time. So to members, all the members committee, right and left. I mean, if it's your time, you can reclaim your time.
Yeah,
So if you're reclaiming your time, it's yours.
okay, no, I just lost my train of thought. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, we're not going to, this isn't a debate.
Well, my
Yield
frustration is
back
we're
or-
talking about a piece of legislation here, and again, it has come off the rails, so now our Democratic colleagues are totally against the Republican colleagues, and now we're in a fist fight in the middle of the committee, which...
No, we're not. They're making their points and you're making your points. That's what it is. But you have to do it by the rules of the committee.
Trust me, I would never want a fist fight.
Yeah, all right. And I hate to say it, hang on, I reclaim. I just think...
All right, the order. You have a minute and 23 seconds, Mr. Luttrell.
I hate to think that we have gotten lost in the actual legislation that I personally think promotes good information to the American public and Congress. And I understand your perspective, sir, but as a former member of the military that did this for a living, putting them back on their heels and understanding that we're aggressively coming at them makes their tactics, techniques, and procedures fail. And then they have to start completely over. And then we continue to maneuver.
Would the gentleman yield for
Yes.
one comment? We are in agreement on this, that figuring out effective measures to put these organizations on their heels is critical. And that is where the department's energy should be placed, not on disclosing in various forms information that they already have, that they could publish if they thought that were effective counter surveillance and effective investigation, but instead to essentially create busy work that, yes, I'm sure the American people have an interest in this, but I don't think that the American people's interest in this will have an impact on keeping our homeland safer. So I would love to work on other ways of targeting these foreign terrorist organizations so that we can actually put them on their heels. This bill doesn't do that.
Yeah. I yield back, sir. Thank you.
Gentleman yield.